I'm Ruth Catton. I live just a couple blocks away from the community house. I was actually born in Benzonia, but I didn't live there very long at that time. When I was finishing up my pediatric residency training, I didn't know what I was going to do. A lot of specialists would go into a suburban or a big city practice, and neither of those things appealed to me, didn't feel right for me. And my father found a pamphlet that said overseas opportunities, and he sent it to me and he said, "Had you ever thought of anything like this?" And reading through it, they were specifically requesting, wanted somebody to be a woman physician for India, and that sounded very interesting. And I was out in Seattle at that time in my pediatric training, and I went to the church library there and read up on our particular missions in India, and proceeded to apply, and was accepted, and the rest is history, as they say. I could bring semi-modern medicine to a lot of villagers that wouldn't have had that help before. One of the things we were doing was family planning, and part of it was the operations to so that either the man or the woman would not have any more children, that there was a high mortality, and that was one of the things we could do, was reduce the mortality rate so that the women didn't have to have so many children. Their children were their life insurance. The children would work and support them in their old age, whatever it would extend to. And we did have electricity. In central India particularly, it would frequently have outages. So I was talking about that one time when I was home and giving a talk at the church here, and afterwards they say, "What can we do about it?" And they raised the money that we got our own hospital generator, and so that we could have electricity even when the current went out. I liked the fact that I could make a difference there with people. And it was just interesting to see the different culture, and I eventually retired in 1993. And that was when I moved full-time up here again. I wasn't about to come home and just sit at home, and although I was no longer felt I was physically able to stay out in India because of the heat and how it was beginning to affect me. I was still very active physically, and had to do something. For a long time I was treasurer of the Women's Fellowship. I helped organize twice a sale. There's a place that you can get books, jewelry, clothing, tote bags that are made by organizations overseas. And part of the money goes back to the organization that has made these, and part stays in the treasury of the Women's Fellowship. At any rate, I helped organize two of those sales. To continue being a community that looks out for each other, that things like bacon, things like Habitat for Humanity, that it helps those in need. What a joy it is to be able to help somebody.